This evening, we focus on a rapidly escalating strategic standoff in West Asia, one of that has drawn the attention of militaries, the diplomats and markets around the world. The United States has deployed additional warships, including the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln, towards the region near Iran, a move Washington says is meant to deter aggression and support stability. But Tehran has responded with warnings that any attacks could trigger a wider war. A recent incident, including the downing of an Iranian drone near a US carrier, have only heightened tensions. What is driving this naval mobilization? Is this deterrence a preparation for conflict or a blend of both? Here is the full picture. So what's really happening? What are the contexts and key facts? Starting with the US naval build-up in West Asia, the US has moved significant military assets, most notably the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier strike the group from the South China Sea towards the Arabian Sea and Gulf waters near Iran. The carrier group includes warships and aircraft with both defensive and offensive capacities. This move reflects Washington's intent to present a credible naval and air deterrent and to protect the Strait of Hormuz, a key maritime shipping lane that are vital for global energy flows. Leading to recent flare-ups at sea, just this week, a US Navy F-35 fighter, a fighter jet shot down at an Iranian Shahed drone that reportedly approached the carrier in the Arabian Sea, which Pentagon officials described as quoted aggressive. Simultaneously, Iranian maritime craft attempted to intercept a US-flagged oil, a tanker in the Strait of Hormuz, prompting a US warship escort and highlighting how easily routine commercial shipping can turn into a flashpoint. But we can see somewhat that diplomacy still is on the table despite the military tension, because both sides have left diplomatic space open, and the US officials say that Iran has signaled a willingness to negotiate, and talks on nuclear and regional security issues are reportedly being planned with possible venues in third-party states. However, Tehran's supreme leader has warned that any US attacks could ignite a broader regional war, underscoring how quickly miscalculation could escalate. So the question arises whether if this deterrence or is this an escalation? The US says its warships are there to prevent conflict, not start one, a classic deterrence posture. Credible force without fire, this is reinforced by continued overtures to negotiate rather than conduct direct attacks. But deterrence only works if both sides trust signals. Iran's warning of a regional war in response to any attack suggests that the cost of miscalculation is dangerously high. Putting the focus on strategic importance of the seas, as the Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's most vital checkpoints, a disruption there could spike oil prices and destabilize global markets. US naval presence is partly about securing these maritime routes against actions by Iranian naval forces or aligned groups. Talking about the diplomatic undercurrents, verbal openness to talk suggests both sides want to avoid all-out war, but the coexistence of heavy military assets and diplomacy is a delicate balance. It mirrors past crises where brinkmanship sometimes led to negotiation instead of conflict. Regional governments, including Gulf states, have warned Washington that Iranian missiles capabilities still pose a serious threat to the US. For global energy markets, increased tensions near the Strait can mean higher oil prices and supply jitters. Meanwhile, naval forces from the multiple countries are watching the situation closely, knowing that a misstep at sea could rapidly escalate. Right now, what we're seeing is West Asia is not yet war, but it is a tinderbox. The United States has positioned powerful naval forces as both shield and a signal, ready to defend, but also ready to back away if diplomacy takes hold. Iran, for its part, is asserting that its deterrent capability and warning that any perceived aggression will be met with overwhelming response. The world watches one of the most strategically critical waterways on Earth, watching whether ships and jets keep the peace or become the spark that ignites wider conflict.